What up? What's happening? After a long hiatus, it was like 2 weeks, something like that. We back at it.
Let me turn down this music. It sound like we was in the alley somewhere, man.
Up in the club.
Based out.
What's going on, man? Episode 27. We back with the Wrap Up Podcast. How you been feeling, brother?
Man, holding on. Can't complain, man. How about yourself?
I dig it. Same here, man.
Back.
Holding on.
Back in the shy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It feels good to be back. Yeah, man. Feeling real Chicago. Summer is breaking. We keep getting these pockets of rain. They playing with us. But
oh, man.
When summertime shot get into full effect, we definitely gonna start acting a fool. But yeah, man, we had a lot go on this last week, and a lot just even jumped off just today.
Yeah.
So I want to start it off with the new news, I guess we can call it. Forbes broke the story today that Jay-Z is the first hip-hop billionaire.
Now, do you believe that's like legit facts, or this is an estimation? No one else has made it there before him.
Right.
Puff wasn't close, or
Puff and Dre is the closest. So a lot of people well, how is this really determined? Because Dre sold beats for like 3 mil. I'm sorry, not 3 mil, 3 billion. 3 billion.
3 billion.
But he wasn't the sole owner.
Yeah.
It was him, Jimmy Iovine, a couple of other people.
Yeah.
But as an individual, they say that he's valued like at $850.
Let me tell you can move, bro. So tell my brother, we record my brother moving slow motion.
Doing the statue move.
Man, he doing that move like, yo, let me get out this bed before she know.
Did that slide out? Try to hurry up, get your clothes on real quiet, like.
If I just move her arm ever so slightly,
right, like on Boomerang, and he tried to slide out the bed.
Oh man, because I was trying to listen to you, but I was looking at him trying not to make no noise, get his play. But I heard the four. I'm like, hey, just move, man. You good? Hey, my bad, man.
It's all good. Hey, man, that's why this show is organic. No redos. Yeah, man, but they say Dre is valued at like $850 million.
Yeah.
But again, it's Forbes. They can't really go. I mean, they can only report what you report.
True.
So it's not like they know every single dollar. But nonetheless, $850 million ain't nothing to sneeze at, and then obviously $1 billion is that's huge. Yeah. That's huge to me.
That is.
So big shout out to Jay-Z. I'm trying to pull up the article if I can find it. All right, here we go.
And what was funny? I won't say it was funny, but what was surprising to me is that a lot of it wasn't. His music was such a small amount of that bill. Yeah,
and that's what I was getting ready to pull up. So, with what obviously, yes, the music isn't a big part of it. What was it? The big 75 million. Yeah. But the craziest part is the alcohol.
Yeah,
branding is
that was
like the biggest.
400, something like that.
So his stake in Duce and Ace of Spades totals $410 million.
Yeah, that's wild.
His music streaming platform Tidal tallies $100 million. Rock Nation is worth $75 million. His music catalog rakes in $75 million. His art collection is $70 million. And his real estate investments total $50 million, which brings him to that $1 billion mark. The things that surprised me the most was obviously the alcohol ventures, and then secondly is that he got $70 million worth of art.
Yeah,
I thought that's pretty.
Well,
dope.
He
talks about it.
He bought that bit Basquiat. Joints. What? Maybe about what going on? Maybe what? What's the album? What's the album after Blueprint? It ain't been that long. I don't think it's been that long, but it was.
It's probably been about 5 years. 6 years since I think he bought that.
Yeah. Yep. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Oh dang, hitting all kind of shit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, but it's it's a really dope thing to look at. Mm-hmm. You know, the fact that he has started to turn more into, you know, like generational wealth. Yeah. And, you know, talking about investments, it's nice to hear those things, but then when you can see the numbers behind it, I mean, we don't know how, you know, true or transparent these numbers are. I hope they real. I'm pretty sure they can't be very far fetched.
I don't think Forbes can fabricate the numbers. The only thing that I don't want to say I was skeptical about, but how much was it in actually monetary value? But then when they did the breakdown of what each one is, it's the sum of all. Yeah, now, and that made more sense to me.
And that's what I'm about to say. It makes sense. So I thought that part was that was pretty dope. And you know, it just the proof. It's kind of like the proof is in the pudding part. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like you can talk all of this, but then when you can see the numbers behind it, it make you say, like, you know what, this is a pretty intelligent fella. So I thought that was dope.
So do you think this was a vision thing with the breakup with him and Dame, that if I was to stick with Dame, I won't be able to accumulate all of this? This is the move, the risk that I have to take to ensure that I do this. Do you think it was something that he already had set up, or, you know, various business ventures led him that route?
I think that it was the personal egos that did it, not necessarily the ventures. I think they could have become billionaires together. Yeah. Because Dame, I still follow Dame Dash on social media, and he is a very intelligent dude. Mm-hmm. Everything, I'm not going to say everything because I don't want to discredit Jay-Z, but a lot of the things that Jay-Z is doing now, Dame and Jay-Z and Kareem Burks was doing back then. Yeah. You know, they were still doing
everything that's happening in the music biz in terms of the wave.
Yeah.
That rock
they were already on
was
that.
Ahead of the game.
Yeah, and they were ahead of the game because those dudes were always very forward thinkers. Yep. The egos and the personalities got in the way. Mm-hmm. But even beyond just Dame and Jay-Z, but Kareem Burks he does extremely well for himself. Yeah. I think all of those dudes were just ultimate hustlers. They knew the wave. They knew when to get on and when to get off the bus. You know, on things that they felt like, okay, this is finna shortchange us. Let's move off of this. So I don't think that him sticking with Dame or breaking apart from Dame helped him grow. Maybe it did. I don't know. I just felt like the personal egos got in the way. Mm-hmm. But if they would have stuck together, I think if they would have stuck together and didn't have the personal issues, the bravado behind it all, I think they still could have got to this point.
And of course it hurt Dame the most because Jay is the commodity. Yeah. And if it's true, and I believe it is, the way he had to operate business in order for them to get their foot in the door, you're gonna burn a lot of bridges when it's just you by yourself. Yeah. Even though the ideas, even listening to the DDTV and all that stuff, all his ideas still are dope to me. Yeah. The little art movement, all that stuff is dope, but he
extremely intelligent dude.
The artists that he brings in to cultivate in the studio in terms of music, art, all that, they're all still dope. So he still has that vein in him. But I just think the perception of Dame, as well as Jay not really talking about it, you know, it's just ruined him in terms of he just sounds salty every time he's talking. But I kind of back Dame a little bit in the whole thing, even though we're not talking about the Rock feud. I understand what
It's hard not to believe Dame because he's the only one who's really come forth and been transparent about it. Yeah, it's like Jay is more standoffish, doesn't really want to speak towards what is or what ain't going on, but he always, you know, at least recently he wishes him well, and you know, he says like things just didn't work out, blah 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 blah. As to where Dame is like, yeah, you know, he wishes him well, he wished things would have worked out better, but it's like, here's the reason why things didn't work out. Here's the reason why, you know, we splintered, and here's the reason why the Rock, I ain't gonna say failed. There's no way you can have the run that they have, that they had, the amount of talent that they were able to cultivate, what they brought to the culture. You can't call it a failure.
That's crazy. When you hit a Rock, it just automatically takes you into a vibe. You know exactly where you are when you heard any of their tracks. When you heard Cameron's track, Cameron with Kanye for the first time.
Can you imagine how you manage that many egos?
That's
Jay,
crazy.
Dame, Cam, Kanye,
Yep.
Beans. All of those is very strong, opinionated egos, and those dudes
Emil.
all hold their own. And they Emil too.
Nah, she had no ego, man.
Man, please. That's the reason why she kind of got that boo.
Yeah, you right.
It's because of the ego. But I mean, that. I don't think that can ever be done.
I like
Emil was straight.
I was watching, still on Rockefeller. I was watching Myth Bleaks Rate the Bars.
I did too. And he was like,
that was a hard line.
That was a dope bar by Emil. She did her thing.
That was a hard line, man.
That. She definitely did her thing on that. But what they gave to the culture of hip hop, fashion,
everything,
and it's like everything that they did, you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And Rockefeller,
everybody was talking about popping tags. Nobody know about a popping. You was popping collars, but Dane was like, man, we want to hear that tag pop.
Yeah, and he was like, yo, he said, you don't never want to wear this again. He's like, you pop it once and then you throw it. And you throw it away and then you on to the next.
Absolutely.
I'm Dame fucking Dash.
Yeah.
He was cool.
Yeah,
Dame was cool. Dame, Jay, and then Kareem was just like in the cut. Yeah. And he was just, not that he wasn't cool, but it was like he ain't have to say nothing, and you knew how he was moving. You knew he was dope.
Yeah.
Rockefeller was everything.
He's probably saying more within the last 2 years, and he's done in what, 25?
For sure. Yeah, man. But big shout out to Jay-Z for becoming a billionaire. And I don't know. I think it's very inspiring. I hope it continues to inspire people. He's always been very inspirational.
Beyonce on her way.
Oh,
she about what, 354?
Something like that. It ain't gonna take long. Some of her latest business ventures that have started to come to light were amazing. Mm-hmm. Like I heard one about Uber. Like she took stock in Uber instead of getting paid out in cash.
Yeah.
And now it's worth like a couple $100 million.
And that's the move. That's the Nas move.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff. I looked at Chameleon there when
that's a very intelligent dude too.
When we decided we was gonna talk about Jay, so I looked at Chameleon there to see what its net worth is. I just always look at old cats to see if they still got the cake like I thought they had.
Yeah, his Silicon Valley connects is booming.
So his Silicon Valley, they had him estimated at 25, but with all the stuff that he has, they said it's easily in that 300 mil range.
Yeah,
he has something with Uber. He has an app that he just sold that's worth like hundreds of mil. So
it was like 210 or something like that. I remember reading that like a year ago, maybe a little less.
The article was about that long.
Yeah. It was that's another dude who really invested his money very well, and now he's sitting nice. He's sitting very nice. Mm-hmm. So I mean, to be able to see these type of business savvy moves is really inspiring. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that, because you hear enough about the guys who just shit their money away, and it's just like, man, this dude was worth $100 million, and now he work at a car wash or some crap like that, like the Vin Baker story.
Oh man, I was just about to say, was Starbucks. Was that Vin Baker?
Yeah, Vin Baker.
He's sitting on somebody's bench now. I forgot who it was. I want to say it was Milwaukee.
I'm glad. Yeah. Speaking of sitting on somebody's bench, total 180. I know we didn't plan to go here, but the fact that Juwan Howard got the Michigan job, man, yo, that is love. I'm so glad that he got the Michigan job. His press conference was very candid and emotional, and I thought that was dope because I felt like he got passed over for quite a few NBA gigs that he should have got, that he was more than qualified for.
He didn't. I wanted him to go in. He didn't have to, and he shouldn't have. But just me being honorary, I wanted him to go into the this is more for the Fab Five and our legacy and how they.
Yeah.
But you can't say how they stripped it away when they giving you a job. But I really want him to say, thanks Juwan, thanks Chris, Jimmy, Ray, and all that jazz, because he probably didn't think he was coming back either. Because even though his name wasn't. And all the jazz. When you say Chris Webber, you're saying the Fab Five.
Yeah, you have to. They set the basketball world on fire for 2-3 years.
How did you just think about Juwan Howard in that quick moment talking about Rockefeller?
No, because we brought up Vin Baker on the bench.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So that's I made that correlation. But
somebody else got a job. Did Stackhouse get a job?
Did he?
Yeah, Stackhouse got a job too.
Jerry got a job.
Vanderbilt, I want to say.
Word.
I think it's Vanderbilt.
They got a good, solid recruiting class this year too.
Mm-hmm.
Vandy did some things. Not like Memphis.
But
we'll go all the way down that basketball road. Yeah, we can go all the way down that basketball road. So But I do want to stick with sports. Major upset alert in the heavyweight division of boxing.
Segue from Rock Nation Sports to sports. That's how we gonna keep the correlation of the Rock.
I'm glad you did it because I didn't have no segue. I didn't have no segue, so I'm glad you found a way to tie that in. Thanks, dog.
You know, Rock Nation does boxing promoting as well. There you go. Now you can go. You good?
So Anthony Joshua versus what's my man's name?
Anthony Ruiz.
Is it Anthony Ruiz? Anthony? Or Daniel? Is it Daniel Ruiz?
Ruiz, I know that much.
Ruiz. I can't remember who said it, but they said he's built like a laundry basket.
Man, real soft.
Didn't matter.
Like bubble lettuce.
Said he built like bubble lettuce. It did not matter. He put them hands on Anthony Joshua. So this just further lets me know that he wasn't ready for Deontay Wilder.
You know what?
He wasn't ready for Deontay Wilder.
I think he would have been ready for Wilder, but this was more of a you look at a guy and you like, no, it's no way. It's no way. So he did his workout.
Don't
and all
give
that
him
stuff
no excuse, dog.
Because I think he's vain in his presence of how he looks. So he did his workout, but that dude didn't do nothing boxing to get ready for this man. And
that's his fault.
Every clip that I've seen from him from Boxing Connoisseur, shout out to them if they watching, Boxing Connoisseur to every boxing page, shows this guy Ruiz knocking cats out. One hit a quitter.
And my thing is this, is if there is any sport where you absolutely cannot underestimate somebody, it's boxing.
Absolutely.
So in boxing, first of all, in boxing, you have nothing but time.
Nothing.
To invest in your fighter, study the techniques, make sure that you ready, your core is ready, your body ready, your corner, your cut man, that you got everything ready. And then I know like the things kind of got flipped, the switch got flipped because he wasn't supposed to fight Ruiz first.
But he still had what?
But he
6 weeks, 4 weeks.
He still had plenty of time to figure out, okay, what does he like to do? Yeah. How does he like to move in the ring? Which hand does he favor? Where's his weaknesses at? Things like that. And you telling me that you just kind of lollygag for these last 6 to 8 weeks?
But my man came methodical. When you get a guy that's 6'6", get in his body. He stayed in his cabinet, and he would not.
Mike did it over and over and over. Mike preyed on taller fighters until he got to Evander Holyfield. Yeah. But he just stayed inside.
He just preyed on him, meaning he.
Yeah. You got some good ones today, player. You been holding these.
Hey man, it's been a while, man.
He been holding these. He's ready. He's ready, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, man, Ruiz did a good job of not letting Anthony Joshua's his reach, his length bother him in the ring. He stayed close.
Letting his name not bother him. A lot of times the name can get you.
Good point. That's another thing that Mike used. Yeah. Mike had folks knocked out before they stepped in the ring just because they were scared. That's true. So good job with Ruiz saying it, the bright lights didn't bother him. You boxing in Madison Square Garden, or was it Barclays? It was MSG, right?
No, it was Madison.
Yeah. So you boxing in Madison Square Garden. You in New York. Big time, prime time fight, pay-per-view. And he didn't let none of that bother him. He was counted out on every single scorecard coming into the fight. Yeah. Nobody had him winning except him. Mm-hmm. And I think he did a good job of going in there, not getting flustered, not getting taken advantage of, and he ultimately took care of business.
And I think a lot of people didn't really care about the fight because it was not the fight we want to see.
Yeah. So the fight we wanted was Anthony Joshua, and Deontay Wilder
and even
Tyson Fury.
And even if Big Baby was the fight, that's still not the fight that we wanted to see. So one of my guys who's a boxing connoisseur, we watch the fights all the time. He went to sleep and forgot to order it. That's how much the interest was. And so I hit him up, was like, yo, you see what just happened? He was like, no, man, I just woke up. So now we got to go because I forgot about the fight. And I told him I was coming through.
It didn't help. It didn't help that, you know, the fight got switched, you know, 6 weeks prior because what's buddy who kept failing the drug test?
Baby Miller.
Yeah. And it's so I'm not even sure if that would have really enticed me.
No, because I've already seen Baby Miller get knocked out.
Yeah,
by Wilder, I think.
Yeah, the only two people who I wanted to see Anthony Joshua fight was either Wilder or Tyson Fury. I wouldn't want to. I didn't want to see any other fight. Now, in all honesty, I mean, if he still finds a way to set up the Joshua Wilder fight, okay, cool. But in all honesty, I would much rather see Wilder and Fury one more time.
And you got conspiracy theorists saying that the fix, you know, with boxing, it's always the fix. The fix is on because if Joshua lost the belts and he fight Wilder, it gives him something to fight. No, it doesn't give you anything to fight for because the fight that he would have had with Wilder
would have unified all of the belts.
All the belts.
Yeah.
Now the fight that makes the most sense would be him to go through Fury to get the his rematch because he was the linear champion.
Right.
And then if he beats Fury,
fight Ruiz.
Or if Fury win, it's Ruiz.
Yeah.
Because Ruiz has the other
four belts.
4 belts, and I think Wilder got 2. But the belts don't really mean anything now because there's so many commissions. It's so many commissions. It don't really.
We can start our own if we wanted to.
Yeah,
it's just paperwork.
Like Fury was the lineal champ because he never lost his belt in the ring.
Right.
It was because of the drug joints.
Yeah.
So he's really still the champion, like Ali.
Right.
So
yeah. So
well, he was a champion until he lost to Wilder.
Yeah. Well, they didn't say he lost, but he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have lost. I'm surprised that he got back up. Most people who fight Deontay Wilder ain't getting back up. He got up twice.
No, man. When you got white dudes with jaws like that, man, they not gonna stay. And he wasn't like Glass Joe.
Nah,
they had that
Glass Joe.
He had that drag off.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, that strong jaw, that comic book jaw.
He definitely did.
That Quagmire jaw. He was getting up. He was staying down, man.
Yo, yeah, he definitely got back up. I want to see him fight. I would like to see him and Wilder fight again.
I think he get Wilder. The only way he doesn't get Wilder is Wilder knows that the public is saying, well, at least 50% is saying that he lost that fight because I'm one of them.
Yeah, Wilder won that fight.
I don't think he won.
You don't think Wilder won?
Nah.
So you can't tell me that Fury won.
Yeah.
So you really think it was a draw? You think Fury won?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
I think Fury outpointed him.
What?
I really
After being dropped twice?
Yeah, but being dropped twice don't mean you didn't get outpointed.
No, I mean I get that, but then that means you would have had him down on the scorecard.
So other than Fury's 2 knockdowns and the ultimate one that was the decision maker almost, you can't say that Fury, if for Wilder to be the cat that he is, it shouldn't have been that close.
Why not?
Fury's defense was on point. He was tapping him with the jab. Points jabbing.
I agree with that. He was definitely getting points in the jab in the later rounds.
Wilder needed that knockdown, that final knockdown.
Needed it?
He needed that knockdown.
Yes, brother.
Because if he was to go unscathed, I kid you not, they would have gave that fight to Fury. Because it ended up being a draw, right?
Yeah, it ended up being a draw.
Yeah.
I had Wilder winning like maybe 5 of the first 7 rounds.
Nah, man. He wasn't even throwing nothing. He wasn't throwing anything. He was setting up for the haymaker. That's what he do. He was setting up for the haymaker, and Fury was tagging him. Tip. Even though they weren't hard body shots, in the phrase of boxing, the science of it, he was outpointing them. Jab point.
Floyd Mayweather made a great living of doing that. Yep. So yeah, I mean, I feel you. But I can see what people say Wilder won too. Yeah,
I get that.
I I still thought it was a good fight. So I would definitely be up for seeing, a second.
July 20th. No, it's not. That's Pacquiao Thurman, July 20th.
I think Thurman gonna kill Pacquiao.
I got a feeling.
I got Thurman killing Pacquiao.
I got a feeling Pacquiao about to get. It's gonna be
this
worse.
The end of the career.
It's gonna be worse than when Marquez made that man slide on the stomach.
Keith Thurman ain't nothing to play with. I really want to see him fight Errol Spence though. That's what I want to see. I want to see him fight Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Or I want to see Crawford fight Spence.
I'd rather see Crawford and Spence.
Crawford and Spence will be crazy.
I don't want nobody to mention none of the Charlo brothers anymore. They're done to me. Who's the other one that their other girlfriend? Herb. He's done. He if you a crew and you ain't rapping and y'all got all the same hairdo, something wrong. It ain't no reason for everybody to have the Odell Beckham. The last people that did that was Heavy D and his boys.
Yeah.
Nobody else should have that, man.
Who's going to fight Gervonta Davis? I know he got a fight coming up too.
I think
I wouldn't mind seeing Tank Davis get a really solid shot at somebody.
But it doesn't,
top notch.
For a lot of the fighters in that weight class or close to that weight class right now, it doesn't make sense to take on that challenge.
To overreach.
Like if you think of Lomo not about to go up to fight him, it don't make sense.
Nah.
Who else? Triple G not gonna go down to fight him.
So then if you
Triple G and
Triple G is heavy. Is he heavier than?
Yeah,
I think he's heavier than Tank Davis.
Gervonta, he's in that. What class? He's in that that Bud Crawford class, right? Or he's under that?
He's above that, I think.
And Crawford is what? Middleweight? He may be a light middle.
Don't have me over here lying.
He may be a light middle. But Bud pound for pound right now, though. To me, Lomo is close, but
nobody fucking with Earl Spence.
Oh, you crazy.
Nobody's fucking with Earl Spence Jr.
Bud Crawford, I believe. He has a switch, man.
He's dope. I like Crawford.
You don't think Lomo can even get? But it's two different.
That's too different. Yeah. Give me Earl Spence. Earl Spence could beat Gervonta Davis.
Who did he just beat up? He just fought a couple of months ago. Who did he fight? Who did Earl Spence fight?
Don't matter. They lost.
They did lose. They lost bad. It was like a big fight.
Yeah. Damn. Who did he fight?
Fact checking on the fly.
You got to. Let's see. Was it Mikey Garcia?
Yep, that's who it was.
He fought Mikey Garcia.
And Garcia couldn't handle that weight.
At all.
He couldn't handle the weight.
Mad respect to Mikey Garcia for moving up.
Oh, yeah.
To take the fight.
Yeah.
To take the fight, yeah.
Now, if he goes down, or if he goes back to he's in that weight class with Tank, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
But Tank shouldn't be looking for names just to fight. His next fight should be looking towards the belt. That's his aspirations.
Yeah, I agree. Man, I want to see Bud Crawford and Errol Spence.
Yeah.
That's the next big fight that I would like
gonna get all up in him.
Never.
Where's Errol Spence from?
Texas, I think.
Oh yeah, Texas and Nebraska. You know that's gonna be a good one.
I think he's from Texas. Let me double check. I'm already on here.
Sound like he's from St. Louis. You know how them St. Louis boxers be.
Oh no, he from Long Island, New York.
Oh yeah, he gonna get beat. He don't want no Nebraska.
Nah. No, he was born in New York. That don't mean he from there.
No,
that's just like they be trying to claim Mike. That don't count.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's interesting.
Sorry, New York.
With the heavyweights right now, man. It's a lot of stuff going on. Because now you got Ortiz in the mix. He's back in the mix with and he 58.
Right. Come on, dog. I mean, he's fun to watch, but do I think he's a threat? No,
he's not a threat at all. Not at all.
He's a fun boxer to watch, though.
Yeah.
He'll come out there. He'll have his moments, give you some oohs and ahs, but
he gave Wilder a run the first time they fought.
He
early
a bit
because he got knocked out too.
Yeah. I mean, we saw how that ended.
Yeah.
I think the youth against any top prospect that he fights, I think it's gonna be
somebody
problem.
is going to catch Wilder, and if this Ruiz fight happens, I think it can be Ruiz just based upon his onslaught and his power.
It can be. The thing that I like about Wilder is he throws from unorthodox positions, and it's hard to determine where it's coming from sometimes because he's tall, he's lanky, he uses his length and his reach very well, but he throws from such awkward positions, and it's like you don't train to you don't train against like crazy overhand rights.
But how sustainable is that in boxing with no technique? He has no technique, and
it's working.
I
mean, until it stops working. I mean, it's hard to. I get where you're coming from. I get it. I truly understand. But until we see somebody who can break it, then
that's true.
Keep using it. That's
true.
The person we've seen come closest is Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know it's a mixed bag, but I still thought he should have won that fight.
Tyson Fury?
No,
okay.
Wilder.
Oh.
Yeah, stop playing. But it's I'm just glad that heavyweight got some action popping.
Yeah, they got about 4.
Yeah, so I mean, because for such a long time they didn't have anything. I mean,
none.
you could almost maybe say 5 now that you got Ruiz in here. He with the win that he had and it being such a big win,
yeah.
I think he deserves to have his name tossed in that.
I agree.
So
I agree.
That was pretty big, man. That was pretty big. I don't know if. I don't know if he fights soon. I wouldn't.
Who?
If I was him, Ruiz.
Oh no.
I'm holding on to this. I don't fight again until maybe this time next year.
Yeah, with him being a champion.
Maybe a little sooner. Maybe the very end of 2019.
Well, we know it's a mandatory rematch.
Yeah.
And this is June. So that rematch, most likely, the earliest would probably be December.
Right.
But for it being what it is, they're gonna probably do that. I can see that being a springtime, February fight, depending what's around in that vein.
I can see that.
It's not going to be another big fight after Pacquiao Thurman, I think, for a while, because I think Fury and Wilder, I want to say, is January of 21, maybe. I mean, of 20. I think they agreed on January of 20.
I don't know.
But I may be off, so.
If they fight again, well, I shouldn't say if. When they fight again, speaking on Anthony Joshua and Ruiz, does Anthony Joshua win the second one? I mean, because you definitely can't come in underestimating him at this point, right?
It depends on what happens with if they can't get the rematch done at Ruiz's price, because he has to demand a price now.
Oh, you got to.
I think you bypass
get your
Joshua
money, dog,
and you fight the winner of the Fury Wilder fight. You fight that champion, and Anthony just got to get in where he get in at this point, because you lost. So if you can't agree, you don't keep waiting for the agreement unless the bag is right. But if not, and you got the public wanting Wilder or Fury for you, I take one of those. Because even if you lose the bag, because it's 2 champions and it's about unifying, it should be about unifying.
It is. If I'm Andy Ruiz, I don't want to fight Wilder or Fury. Give me Joshua again. Not saying that he's scared of the other 2 dudes, but I think it sets up nicely for you if you're Ruiz.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So instead of trying to totally shift focus to 2 other fighters with a much more
polished.
I don't want to. I'm trying to say this without shitting on Anthony Joshua because he's not a bad fighter.
He ain't beat nobody with a Klitschko, an old Klitschko.
This is true. This and we've consistently seen stamina issues from him.
Yeah.
And it was highlighted here again.
And you saw when he got hit with that first blow when he was on his knees, he did that first exhale.
Yeah, he was.
It's done. Yeah, it's done.
It's like, God damn, man, this is rough. Yeah, so it's if I'm Ruiz, and I've been calling, I think I called him Daniel Ruiz. It's Andy Ruiz.
I know it was A something.
If I'm him, give me Anthony Joshua again.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
I'm rolling with that.
Yeah, okay.
Give me AJ one more time. Beat him up. And then you move on to a Fury or a Wilder. Or maybe even Ortiz. More than likely, if that's the case.
I can see Ortiz real good.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, if I'm
and what's his name is still there too? Chris Aiello. He's still making noise. He just beat up so I think he's top 3 in the weight in heavyweights.
Probably.
But he's lost weight and done got back.
I didn't see his last fight.
It was on Fox Sports 1. So that's PBC. PBC is where it's at right now. They got everybody, man.
Yeah, it's okay. I ain't mad at that. If I'm Ruiz, I go Anthony Joshua one more time. If I beat Anthony Joshua for the second time, I hold off on Fury. I hold off on Wilder. Because at this point, if I've beat Anthony Joshua twice, I want to make this my next fight. If I'm going to fight one of them two, I want it to be a mega fight.
Yeah, and
I don't think they get a mega fight. So then I give me. I'm not gonna say a warm up, but give me one more good formidable opponent.
And I go after Joshua too because I know I can beat him.
Yeah,
Fury and Wilder are unknowns because those boys can hit.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything from Joshua that stated power. It was more of a finesse.
Yeah,
kind of.
He's a good boxer.
Yeah,
he's got solid technique for 5 rounds, and then he's gassed.
Yeah,
he was gassed against a 50-year-old Klitschko.
Yeah, Klitschko just didn't feel like fighting after. He was like, yo.
Yeah, he was like, yo, let's just stand in the middle of the ring, toe to toe, let's slug this joint out.
He almost took it from him.
He did. Yeah, it was close. He at this point, they was both gassed. I mean, but I understand Klitschko being gassed at, what was he, like 40?
45, maybe?
Yeah.
42, something like that.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, you are gassed. Stand in the middle of the ring, slug it out, go toe to toe, just see who gonna, end up walking out. And that's how that fight ended up going.
But shout out to Ruiz, man.
It was a dope fight.
Doing his thing.
It was a dope fight.
World.
He definitely did that. He shook up the world. And it's you get your equilibrium right.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, man, good job to him. I think that more than anything, set up the next joint with Anthony Joshua and run from there.
Yeah. Yep. That's about right. That sounds about right to me.
Man. So you said shaking up the world. I want to move back to hoops. Did you see Toronto?
Oh, I told you I saw that coming, man. I've been on the Toronto wave.
I was trying to toss you a softball.
Okay. My bad, man. You know, we get overzealous when you've been calling out.
You got it now. You got it now. Play it.
Go ahead and give me mine, man. I'm gonna be quiet.
All right. So look, now, since you already done said it, I'm gonna rephrase this. You called it.
Yeah.
You said that. Yo, man.
Started from Milwaukee.
Yo, you said, yo, man. Because I had Milwaukee going all the way.
You did.
Not winning it all, but going all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
And you was like, I don't know, man. Toronto is built for this. Kawhi playing on another level. They got enough bigs to shut down the lane against Giannis. I was like, yeah, they do. But Give me Milwaukee in what did I say, 6 or 7?
That's what you said. Give me Milwaukee.
Give me Milwaukee. And them boys ran 4 straight.
Yep.
And then they followed it up with a very impressive win with game 1 in the finals.
Yep. Who they beat twice in the regular season.
Yeah. Yeah. So
won by 20.
Yeah. So Toronto is looking like the real deal. Not that I didn't believe in it, but we knew Kawhi. Kawhi's been playing out of his mind since basically the start of the playoffs.
He's gassed too.
He is. He's getting tired. What I really think has turned this around is Toronto's guard play, in my opinion. Lowry.
But not really the guard play, but Van Vliet.
That's what I was about to say. Lowry and Fred Van Vliet. Shout out to Rockford. Shout out to Rockford, Illinois. Those two dudes have really been balling since the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
and I think it's really turned the team around because it gives you a different wrinkle, it gives you a different dynamic, and then you can start to do different things because you got to stay home with those two dudes. Mm-hmm. It ain't just collapse on Kawhi and make other people beat us. These dudes are starting to show that, hey, we are capable of beating you.
What's dope to me, Toronto isn't showing that fear that you see from most teams. You know, most teams have that, it's Golden State, we up by 15, but they going to make a run, they going to come back.
Yeah.
Like, to me, with Cleveland, except for that 1 year when Kyrie went crazy.
Off. Yeah, was that
they were
15?
off. Yeah, they 16? Were off to me. Like, they played, stagnant. But Toronto, even though they lost game 2, they kept the pace up.
Yeah.
Golden State just started hitting shots in that opening third quarter.
The third quarter is what swung it.
And they couldn't.
It was an 18-0 run. Yeah,
20-0 going back. No, 18-0 or 20-0 going back from the second to the third.
They hit some big shots and they came out there and they sustained a really good run. But that's what. First of all, you heard it a million times. Basketball is a game of runs.
Yeah.
The reason Golden State is so good is because nobody runs quite like Golden State. Mm-hmm. They can hit you for a 10, 15, 20-point run multiple times through a game because there's no better team in the open court. I don't care who you're talking about. There's no better open court team than the Golden State Warriors.
Boogie was a plus, too.
Boogie was huge.
Boogie was a plus.
Boogie was huge.
And now that's a fifth man you have to guard.
You have to.
Yeah.
Even though just watching the way he's moving around out there, he's not 100%.
Oh, not at all.
But he's still so skilled at multiple spots on the court that you can't just leave him out there. It's like you can't just be like, oh, he's hurt, and we can kind of sag off of him because I don't care if he's at 65%. Mm-hmm. That dude can get buckets.
Yeah.
He can get buckets in the paint. He can get buckets mid-range, outside. You have to stick with him. And I don't think that they have a big who can guard him. And it takes away from...
I think Mark can guard him, Gasol, but he has to do so much on the trap that it takes away
tough.
From him guarding big Boogie.
It really does. And imagine if he was able to move around.
Yeah.
If DeMarcus Cousins was able to move around a lot more, I'm not saying that this is going to be a runaway, but they will be able to do a lot more with the way that they try to utilize him.
Yeah.
If you look, and I'm pretty sure that Nick Nurse notices this, but when DeMarcus Cousins is in the game, the motion of the offense slows down a bit because he can't move as well. Mm-hmm. So
and that was even during the season when they started integrating him more. Their pacing slowed down.
He definitely slows down. He slows down their pace. But I think that this was still a good wrinkle for them because it's not something that you've had a chance to see Golden State do through the playoffs because he's been hurt. So it's almost like it's a new piece. It's a piece that you didn't quite I ain't gonna say guard against, but it's not something that you've had to game plan against yet because you haven't seen it enough in the postseason. So that is it's a very interesting wrinkle that they have to the game. I think it's going to continue to help them. we'll see how quickly Nick Nurse can try to make some adjustments, because that's what this entire series is going to be about, is who adjusts better and then who executes.
I think Toronto will get one more. I still got Golden State winning the series, but I think Toronto will get one more. Won't be surprised if it goes 7, but they're going to lose regardless. The only thing that will hurt Golden State is if Klay can't go Game 3.
Right, because he came up with a bad hammy, right?
And that's because they're doing that dumb flailing with your legs and all that stuff, trying to draw. So if Klay can't go, I'm going to give Game 3 to Toronto just off the bat. Just off the bat.
3?
Yeah.
Not 4.
No,
Game 3.
Yeah.
Hell
right
no.
off the bat. They're going to win that.
Then, Oracle going to be rocking, dog.
Then Oracle will be rocking in Game 4. So now it's 2-2. It'll be 2-2.
I give them 4 before I give them 3.
Now cats are... Kevin ain't coming back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he will.
I don't think Kevin's coming back.
From
what I saw in the locker room, his body does not look like it's going to come back. The only thing I can see happening is this is Steph Curry's time now to say, this is my team. This has always been my team. Kevin, I let you come to my team. Now I'm about to show you
why this is my team.
Why this is my team.
I hear that.
Because you can't tell me you a 2-time regular season MVP and the stats you put up in the finals, you don't have a finals MVP, and Kevin Durant got 2 of them.
Look at the stats that Kevin put up.
I understand, but they're calling this Kevin's team. You can't tell me.
I agree.
Steph's not thinking about that. You can't tell me Kevin's not thinking about that.
Yeah, of course.
Because if they win this championship and he doesn't play, Kevin's goes.
I think Kev goes regardless.
Yeah, but this is the reason he will be goes.
But he Kev earned both of them MVPs, and I know you're not saying that he didn't.
Yeah,
but it's just a bad break. You know, Steph played out of his mind, and then Kevin just played even better. It's kind of how I felt about James Harden the year that Russ won the MVP.
I wouldn't even say that
because he had a triple-double.
Kevin took the shots that were normally reserved for
Steph Curry. Yeah.
So the shots Kevin was making were the shots that Steph was doing what, the last 3 out of the 4 years?
Kevin Durant is a better pressure shooter. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, I agree.
When the
Klay is a better pressure shooter.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. Not to denounce Steph Curry's shooting ability. We all know that he's a human flamethrower. The man got a torch.
I think he has a different sense right now with Kevin being out. I have to let
his alpha male coming out.
Yeah, then especially if Klay is out, and then that's why Draymond's shining. This is remember what he said on the bench. We've been doing this before you.
Draymond Green does not get enough credit, and I think he's about to start though. And it's going to be unfortunate the reason why it starts.
My guys tell me that's how my game used to be back in the day.
Draymond? If that's the case, you was dope.
Just can do everything. My jumper was better than his.
Draymond Green doesn't get enough credit.
No, he doesn't.
First of all, his game translates to any team in the NBA. I don't care what style of game you're running, what type of offense you're running, what pieces or players you have. Mm-hmm. Everybody doesn't fit on every team.
No.
Some people is just like, yo, man, you just don't fit our style of play. You can be an amazing player, but if you just don't fit their style of play, it just won't work for you.
For him to be a number 4 or let me say, he's really a number 3 on that team. A number 3 and a de facto 4. Mm-hmm. He makes a lot of people on that squad better, especially when he's running with that second unit.
That's what I'm saying. His game translates to any other team.
Yeah.
A lot of people be like, man, Draymond ain't really that good. If you know hoops, you know Draymond is dope as hell. Because everybody can't do what he does.
If he went to Memphis, he's busting 20 a game.
Straight up.
23 a game.
And the
Jimmy
crazy
Butler numbers.
Yeah. And that's just points we talking. Yeah. We're not talking about what he's still gonna give you on the defensive end. Mm-hmm. And Draymond Green is the Swiss Army knife.
7-8 assists.
the man can guard 4 positions.
Yep.
Everybody not doing that. So Draymond Green don't get enough credit. And like I said, I think he'll start to get more credit because, unfortunately, I think this is his last year in Golden State.
Because they can't pay everybody.
I might be wrong, but I think they'll end up playing. I think they'll end up paying Clay
over. I think the only reason he gets out of Golden State being Draymond, they're tired of the antics, and it looked it looked like Steve was tired of the antics. Yeah.
So, in order for them to keep Steve, I think they'll try to keep Clay. I think they're gonna toss the bag at Clay. I think Kevin is gonna walk
because it's profitable now. I think that was a conspiracy too. Him not making that third team so they can afford him.
Yeah, that's whack though. He should have made it.
Yeah,
but I think
over Kimba. Oh yeah,
I think they lose.
Kimba ball.
He did, but his team didn't make the playoffs, and he's in the East.
So who you got Wednesday? Golden State. Yeah, Golden State, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout game, but I think by the time the stats all run together, it's going to look like a blowout. I see them winning by like 15, 17 points. I don't think I'm with you. The entire game won't be a blowout, but when it's said and done, that fourth quarter,
they're going to run it up.
It's going to be the separation.
Yeah.
But Kawhi's a different animal to me, man.
He is hooping.
But he's Siakam we need him.
Yeah, you need him to play like he played in game 1.
Toronto cat, we need.
I tell you what, I'm glad that you just brought up that Toronto. I know a lot of people are tired of seeing Golden State win. I really want to see Golden State win because I don't want to see Drake win. Drake is probably one of the most annoying basketball fans I've ever seen in my life.
Just person in general.
Drake is like, if you don't
like his
sit your monkey ass down.
I don't like that shooting shirt he had.
That's a spray on tan.
Underneath it looked like it. I don't like his little wristband he had on.
Yo, that's the lamest thing though. It's like, dog, you have a Kevin Durant and Steph Curry tattoo.
Wait, let me because I never got the full gist of that. Is it their faces or just their names? What is it?
It's their numbers. He has a tattoo of their numbers, and I think their name is on it too. I think their name is below their numbers.
Added on. That's Matadon stuff.
Yo, this dude, man. Let me try to see if I can pull it up.
Bleach Report sent the picture of him with Joshua after the Joshua fight.
Yeah, it is like, yo, he just a walking curse.
This dude wins so much to take so many L's, like in the eyes of like the real people. I
don't get it, dog. Yeah, so it says 35 and then snipe because they call him easy money sniper.
Jailhouse rock tattoos.
I know, right? It's like, and then under the, what does it say? I can't tell what it say under Steph's name.
Those whack tattoos. His tattoo game is even whack, man.
It's trash. It's like creative player on 2K where you just get shit in random spots.
Just like space.
Yeah.
Why you got so much space?
It's like that's how my son create tattoos on. It's like, yeah, well, he just got a bunch. And it's
like you got an owl right here, and then you got an hourglass right here, then you got a whole bunch of space, and you just got a army tank.
It's like, my nigga, you're not gonna sleeve this up or do something. It's like,
what is all that, man?
It's like, yo, you're just like you just gonna put them in random spots. Like, that's lame as hell. But the antics that he had it's like,
it's good TV though. I ain't gonna front on it.
It is. I mean, it's if he was just out there with the subliminals and he just sat his ass down, I would be cool with it.
Yeah.
Cool. The Del Curry jersey, that was I like that.
Yeah.
The Tupac hoodie with the that he wore
with the Kevin on the back,
that was fresh.
Yeah.
I liked it. Now just sit your ass down.
Yeah.
You don't have to be doing the massages on the sideline and up and running and talking to the players. It's like, you don't have to be Spike Lee Jr.
Yeah, and drink your SoCo.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, bro, you're doing too much. Anytime that you're trying to be the center of attention and you're not on the court determining the outcome, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Sit your monkey ass down.
I got Toronto game 3.
No.
This is going to go back and forth. Toronto game 3.
I can see the back and forth, but I don't see them taking game 1 of Oracle.
Toronto game 3. Dude, you know I don't be off by much, man.
You gonna be off this time.
Toronto game 3, and then Golden State will get 4, 5. And they'll close out. What's that? That 6th game will be where? In Golden State?
Yeah.
Yep.
I bet your
bottom dollar almost.
You said what?
You know, I use the Stone Cold. This is a random thought I had while you was talking, man. It means absolutely nothing.
I bet you 6-piece from Harold's.
Okay. That they. No, we're going
game
6-piece. I gotta go legit. Yeah, they gonna win game 3.
All right.
Meaning Golden State go win game. You put real value on it, man. Let me think this over, man. You know, 6 wins, man. Now, if you would have said a 6 win from Crystals or something, I'm like, oh man, Toronto all day. Like, when you start messing with Harold's, man, let me get legit.
Hey, do you see how quickly the tables turn over
man,
here?
Man, I'm speaking.
You put a 6-piece wing fried hard on the table, man, and then all of a sudden you get the backing up out your hands.
Man, I'm speaking from a basketball point when I gave you all the points for Toronto to win this game. But if we going by stone cold facts,
yeah, give me Golden State in the
But if we talking from a basketball,
we just talking about game 3. Game 3.
No, none of that makes sense. But it makes all sense. All right, so Toronto. I got Toronto game 3. You got.
I got Golden State game 3.
Okay, we'll reassess next week and see what they end the week of, because Friday is game 4, right?
Yeah, Friday is game 4.
Okay, so we'll
Friday
see next
game
week.
4. Yeah.
Oh, we'll get game 6 by Friday too.
Will we?
No, we won't, because they got 2 days travel.
Yeah.
2 days travel. Okay, so this series can be over pretty much Monday, Tuesday, hypothetically.
I doubt it, but yeah. Could be. The possibilities.
All right.
We're running on time, man. You want to run through Jim Jones real quick?
Oh yeah. We can do it.
All right, let's run through Jimmy. Jim Jones dropped a album. No segue whatsoever.
No, not at all.
Forget it. It's just it's just
we set the people up all day with no segue.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, it's our first day back in what 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, but it's
give
fine.
us a break.
It's all right. They flowing.
Jim Jones dropped the album on Friday, the 31st.
Yep.
What's the name of the album?
El Capo.
And with the Heat Makers.
Yep. Took me back.
Give me your thoughts, bro.
To my youth, man.
I purposely, you sent it to me. I actually follow Jim Jones, and he been doing the lead ups and all of that. And then the 31st came and almost went, and I still didn't listen to it. And then you said, "Yo," you sent me the link, like, "Yo, Jimmy dropped." I'm like, yeah, I knew that and forgot, but you sent it to me, and I listened to it right away. But I want to hear your take. We've purposely not discussed this.
We really, for real, we haven't. Normally we do.
Yeah,
we haven't.
Tell me what you think.
I'm unwrapping it.
Okay.
A lengthy album, 16 tracks to me is lengthy, 58 minutes, almost an hour.
Yeah.
But it doesn't play that way.
Just how I like it. True.
There are a couple of misses looking at the track listing.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but there are a couple of misses. But other than that, we talked about it. I think with Wasted Talent and the album before that, that Jimmy has just gotten his own zone. Man.
He definitely has.
He's just gotten better as he's aged. I don't know if it's just more time in the business, being able to articulate thought or put things together via metaphor, assembly. I don't know what it is. But he's taking over Cameron to me.
That I was just about to say that. Cam is on
all Cameron features are. I don't want to say they're horrible, but it's not
just Jimmy just outshined him.
He outshined him.
You reading my mind over here. You reading my mind over here. Jimmy outshined Cam on I think Cam on like 2 or 3 tracks. But he outshined him on every track.
But my standout before we get to yours, my standout is of course track 1 as soon as it come on Crystal Occasions.
That was dope.
The beat is classic Heat Makers.
Crazy.
The State of the Union with Rick Ross is dope.
Yes.
Just to be honest, track 1 through 6 is fire.
You are completely reading my mind right now.
Then we start getting into the the hit or misses. I don't really mind too much of the dude.
Did we just
singing.
become best friends?
Man, we had to. The dude singing doesn't really bother me. I looked him up to see who he was.
Yeah.
He's a folk singer, rock singer. So that doesn't really bother me. But it seemed like they just added stuff to the album. But Jones was the saving grace on each track.
Jimmy bodies
when the
this.
beat got kind of bad, Jimmy still was bodying.
That's my point. The middle of this album got boring.
Yeah.
And it's not because of Jimmy.
Not at all.
Jimmy bodies everything. Heatmakers got boring.
Yep.
They got extremely redundant. The Heatmakers.
It sounded like they were trying to tinker with the sound instead of keeping it. If they would have kept it that Dipset sound, it's, even though we've heard it before, that's what I expect.
We heard it over and over and over, and it just felt like, I don't know, man. It's like, yo, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
And it's not like Pusha T, where it's like, you know what you're going to get, you've expected it, and it's still going to be dope. With Heatmakers, they didn't give me that. Heatmakers is just like, yo, this is getting kind of boring, dog. I'm really here because Jimmy is still bodying every track. Some of the features is pretty dope. But the first half of the album, like you said, I say like the first 6, I'll say 7.
Yeah.
Was pretty dope. Not saying that I still like My Era with Mano.
Yeah, that was dope. I forgot about that.
But then it's a few that's like,
I didn't like the track with Fabulous.
Nah, I didn't like that joint. And Fab verse was just Cocaine Dreaming. It's like, Mama, I Made It. Cam definitely fell flat on that one, but Jimmy did his thing. Sports Cars was okay with
Song Boxing was dope. It was just too short. It was like a minute and a half.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's like a minute and some change. But then he ended it with a bang.
Yeah,
I thought that was dope. Don't know. What is it? Don't know why they took it. Don't know why they took him. Something like that. But ultimately, I'm with you. I'm unwrapping it. I think the album is nice.
Yeah.
The production got boring. Not Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jim Jones came with it every single rip. Jim Jones, he's heavy with it. Jimmy is Capo is continuing to move up my list.
Yeah.
With the way that he's I don't even want to call it reinventing himself. I don't know if he's really doing anything different than what he did. He sounds the same. He's just spitting better. And
if you think about it, if you go back to when Dipset was like really like getting big with the get crunk music, all that stuff, it still sounds the same. But I wasn't checking for Jimmy. I don't know why. Even in was it the Hustler's Poem? That one I could have did without the album. But now I'm going to go back and listen to those early installments to see if what I'm hearing now
is like, have I just been sleep on Jimmy for 10 years, 15 years?
Because the last 3 projects,
last 3 albums, Jimmy has straight body, and not even just his stuff. When he's on the other stuff with the what was Dipset's last joint that they just came out with?
Diplomatic Ties.
Diplomatic Ties. He got nuts on that. The joint that he had on the program with Cam is he getting busy. Jimmy is definitely he on one. So I'm with you. I'm unwrapping this. Heatmakers is actually my sore spot. I still like Heatmakers. Yeah. But I think they got a little boring. Jimmy held them down though. Jimmy carried me through.
And that's crazy because when I heard the Heatmaker beats, I was like, oh, it was nostalgic. I like those. Yeah. But when they started trying to go away from it just sounded like something was missing sonically in the beat.
Yeah, it's like, what? Why are you switching it up now?
Yeah. It's like, give me an album of Really Mean It. Yeah, and
that's still my favorite. That's still my favorite joint that they've ever done. I really mean it. It's like it's absolutely none.
Man, that's my joint, man.
Yo, it's crazy. That's definitely my favorite Dipset joint. And they got a host of them. They got a host of crazy tracks, and it seemed like it's gonna continue.
Yeah.
I wish I could have heard some Joel's. I mean, obviously, I know the situation. I know why he ain't, with him.
His interlude was dope too. That the segue to each song.
Yeah. The paid in full one I like. That is so classic. I'll never get tired of hearing.
Not at all.
I love the game. I never get tired of hearing.
I think Diddy did it the best though, man.
He probably did.
On that Money Making Mitch.
Yeah.
That was his.
Yeah.
That was hard.
I'll never get tired of that.
I love the hustle.
They still gonna love me, man.
That's classic.
Fans still gonna love me.
That's classic.
It is. It's definitely classic. So Capo with another solid album. If you haven't heard it, go check it out.
Some other stuff came out too, but I don't think I was checking for it.
What else?
I don't even remember because I wasn't checking for it. But I think like 2 or 3. We had a good run. 2 weeks ago was the last week we had. Last week.
I don't know, man. You sent me like 6 joints. And I was like, yo, this is popping. Currency was dope. I was banging that in Miami.
What's my man's? Tyler, the production was dope on Tyler's project. Most of the songs I had no clue what he was saying or what
Tyler was decent. It was better than what I thought it was gonna be.
Who was the other? Was it
DJ Khaled dropped one.
I stopped.
DJ Khaled?
DJ Khaled, I sent you the text.
You ain't like the singles. Like everything was a single.
I got to track 2 after the Buju Baton joint. Was it Buju on that? Yeah. It was like, yo, I'm done. It was like listening to the radio.
I thought it was dope.
Nah.
I like Khaled's album. I thought it was straight.
Did Styles come out too?
Did he? I don't know.
It wasn't Styles then. But it wasn't Styles.
YP, Backwood Jones. From Chicago.
You sent me that, and I listened to it.
Crazy.
I listened to it, but I didn't listen to the album. I listened to the. Nope, I'm thinking about the other cat you sent me from New York.
Oh,
Khaled. Khalid. What's the name?
Yeah, Khalid.
Yeah. Nah, it ain't Khalid. That's the singer. His name Khaled too. The little dude with the braids you sent me to join up because we was talking about him before. And you told me to check him.
I'm trying to think now.
And in the video, the dude was they was running up and he shot him at the end.
Oh yeah. The I can't remember dude's name. I just sent you just the video, not the whole not the whole project.
Sent me the video.
Yeah, but his was dope.
And we were talking about how New York don't sound like New York.
Yeah, at all anymore. But Backwood Jones got a dope album. Shout out to the Home Squad. If you ain't heard that album was pretty dope. But yeah, you're right. We had a good stretch for like the last 2.5 weeks.
After not getting nothing for a minute.
Yeah, the first half of the year was I ain't gonna say first half. The first quarter was pretty dry. But we bouncing back as you normally do around the summertime. Yeah. Summertime usually get some bangers out here that might make a run for album of the year later on down the line. Right now, would you put Jimmy up there?
In what?
Has he released the top 10 album this year?
Oh yeah. This based upon what's been releasing, this is definitely in the top 10. Because ain't nothing else to put up in there.
I ain't mad at that.
Now, I don't think I have a solid 5 to put in the top 10. If we were to do, let's say next week, which we should probably do soon,
a halfway mark. Yeah, halfway mark. I'm with that. We can do a mid-year review.
That's definitely in there.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
And it's crazy.
That might be the move.
He's probably in that top 3.
I can see that.
Him and 2 Chainz probably fighting it out for 1.
2 Chainz did have the best album in that first, that first pocket, that first quarter. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. All right, man. I guess that's a wrap on this one.
Yes, sir.
It feel good to get back to it.
You was out there with the City Girls.
Hey, yo, City Girls was they was on one. Miami was good to me. Yo, appreciate y'all rocking with us
in a good way, KK.
Don't get us started. Matter of fact, it's a wrap, man. Turn it off. Well, episode 28. Peace.